What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Welcome back here today to another episode on Just Ballin', and today I'm going to be doing something I haven't done yet throughout this season. I'm going to try and just give out my mid-season All-NBA picks, because we are pretty much 41 games just through the season for a ton of teams, and I'm going to be laying out my top 15 guys in the league, and I will be taking into consideration the 65 game threshold. So some guys that are talented enough and are going to play well enough, but probably aren't going to hit 65 games, we're going to have that discussion, and they're probably going to be part of the cut list rather than a snub list. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, you can clearly see the tier list. I'm basically just recycling my all-star tier list I had on my Sauce channel. So you're going to see a bunch of names listed here. Some will be easier cuts, some will be snubs. It's going to be tough because obviously this is positional list now, which I think is for the better. It was always a shame that like Embiid and Jokic were the top two players in the regular season, and one of them always ended up on an All-NBA second team. I'm perfectly fine with it being positionalist, and I'm also fine with it being a 65 game threshold. A lot of people don't like this, but I'm honestly a fan of it. I think you should be able to play at least 79-80% of your games to, I think, be eligible for these awards. And yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. So we are here today. Like I said, for video version, you guys are going to see All-NBA first team in the top tier, All-NBA second team, All-NBA third team. We're going to have a snubs, and we're going to have just a cut. I'm going to bring up everybody's name here. We're going to talk about their case, and it's going to get tough. It's going to get tougher than I think. I think first team, it's going to be the easiest, and then it gets harder and harder. But I don't even know how easy first team is going to be. I think there's a couple locks. There's a couple clear locks. And then we get into some debates on who should make it. So like always, if you guys are on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments always what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Give me maybe your NBA first team, second team, third team in the comments. I know I can't reply to every comment, but I really read every single comment. Either it's nice or not. You either call me an idiot or you agree with my take. I read it, and I'd love to hear your guys' opinions because everybody has a different one. I'm here as a Knicks fan living in Philadelphia. You may be a Spurs fan living in I don't know, Tacoma, Washington, right? And we're just going to have a different point of view on things. So let's get into this. We are going to also kind of cycle through the standings because I'm also a proponent that I think your team should be at least good. I think you should have at least two, like, 500 record or be a playoff team. Obviously, with the playing tournament, more guys are going to make it to at least be in this conversation, unless you're having a specific season that we're going to get to, because I think there's one guy here that, although their team is, I think, technically under 500 right now, he may even make my All-NBA first team. We'll see. So we have Alperen Sengun. We're going to start off with. I don't really know if there's a case for Alperen Sengun right now to be on an All-NBA team. The Rockets, though, incredible this year. I'm really intrigued to see if he makes the All-Star game. I think he will, and he has been playing better as of late because he got up to a little bit of a rough start, but I know that Sengun has been playing good. At least in the calendar year 2025. You look at his last 7 games. Yeah, he's averaging 23.5 points, 10.5 rebounds, 54% from the field. Although the Rockets have picked up a couple losses there. But I don't know. I think if you're going to give it to one Rocket, I think it should be Sengun. So I'm going to have Sengun, like, I think in the snubs tier right now. I'm probably going to have like 5 snubs. I think that's like the All-NBA 4th team, snub team, something like that. But that'll be easy enough just because the Rockets are currently 25-12. And I want to give them their respect, at least bringing somebody to discussion there. Andrew Wiggins I have here. Yeah, he's not making an All-NBA team. Anthony Davis. All right, Anthony Davis, I think, is clear deserving of an All-NBA team this year. He's going to hit 65 games, knock on wood. He's at 34 right now. The Lakers are currently the 6th seed in the Western Conference. But it's cool. Like, this was the same thing that happened last year. The Nuggets are the 4th seed. They're 23-15. And there's basically a 4-game difference between the 4-seeded Nuggets or you can even say a 4.5-game difference between the 4-seeded Nuggets and the 12-seeded San Antonio Spurs. So a lot can change if you go on a 3-game winning streak, you go on a 3-game losing streak. And Anthony Davis, on a good team this year, is going to be, I think, an All-Star. We'll see if he's an All-Star starter. I think he should be. 26 points, 12 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 52% from the field. Obviously got off to that incredible start, and everyone's like, could he end up being an MVP candidate this year? And although he's probably not going to be in that conversation just because of what Jokic and Shea are doing this year, and Giannis and some other guys, I think Anthony Davis is clear deserving of an All-NBA team spot. I value AD's defense a ton and what he is for this Lakers team that has an abysmal defense around him. And like if we go to their defensive metrics this year, net rating wise, yeah, they're 23rd in defensive rating this year, and Anthony Davis is really carrying that defense at times. We'll see how much it changes with Finney Smith and how they look. But I'm just gonna throw AD in like All NBA second team because I don't know if he's All NBA first team right now, and I don't know if he's All NBA third team. He's definitely gonna make one, but I think once I get my 15 guys, then we can organize it. Next up that I think is going to make it is Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is on the, obviously the leading scorer for the Timberwolves. They're the 8th seed in the Western Conference. They're 20-18. Ant's putting up 25, 6, and 4. It's funny because I feel like at most Timberwolves games I end up watching, like he's taken the final shot and he has not been clutch this year, and that's not really going to factor into anything here. But it's been an up and down. I would like Ant got off to an incredible start. You look at his first, I mean, we can look at just this weird sample size of his first 18 games, averaging 28 points, 45, 42, 81 splits. Now I'd like to kind of go after that game. Like say we look from basically December on, November 29th on, that drops to 23 points throughout his last 20 games, 41% from the field. It's a weird fit. I mean, I didn't really like the Cat trade. I didn't like it for either team when it happened, but I think I liked it a little bit more for the Knicks. Obviously, I love DiVincenzo in that trade. For Minnesota, who's coming on as of late compared to his rough start. Julius Randle, the fit is weird. McDaniels has been bad, and I think he's carrying this team a ton this year for how bad their offense was compared to last year. Like they're 20th in offensive rating this year. They were 16th last year, so it has dropped. The defense is up to 6th, and it was 1st last year. I forget that the top ranked defense rating wise, and that's with Karl-Anthony Towns. I think Ant though is going to be on an All-NBA team. I think he's one of the 15 best players in the league this year. I'm not going to let the recent sample size hurt him or dock him a lot, but it's something to keep an eye on. I wonder if that will bump him to like my midseason 3rd team. So I'll throw him in there for now. I'm not, I think I'm going to make a video soon. I don't know if it's going to be on this like podcast, Just Ballin' channel or my Sauce channel, but Bam Adebayo is going to be making my most disappointing players of 2025 list. Oh my God, man. I don't know what's going on with Bam. I think I could do a quick Bam segment here, but I was so excited for what he was like for the Olympic team. He was going to take more threes, and I just felt like he could add another arsenal to his game to become like somebody that was a top 25, 30 player in the league, mainly because of his defense. Like he gives you good offensive athleticism and somebody that could put up 18 to 20 points a night, and then you add maybe just a little bit of floor spacing ability, something we've seen with Sabonis like add in the past, obviously Brook Lopez in the past, like guys that more so Lopez like has transitioned his game into a completely different play style. And Bam this year has been one of the most negative shooters in the league, just because of his 3-point volume. He's shooting 28% from 3 on 2.5 attempts. When you take into the account the volume and how bad he's hitting these, he's just like a negative offensive player for them this year for the volume he has. And it's just, I don't know. It's just like he was so good the last 5 years on both ends of the floor, and it's like the worst offensive season he's had since year number 2. And I think he's just got to maybe get away from the 3-point shooting. Maybe he needs to work in the offseason with a different shooting coach. Obviously, this Heat team's going to have a little bit of influx going forward with the Jimmy Butler trade. Jaquez and Jovic have been playing great. Honestly, maybe better offensively since Jimmy wanted out. But yeah, Bam is not making an All-NBA team. After being on 3rd team last year? No. But I'm pretty sure, well, Bam signed that extension because I'm pretty sure if he ended up getting on an All-NBA team last year, he could have got the Supermax. But he's got a good contract coming up. 34 this year, 37 next year, which looks good in the modern NBA, which is just wild to say. 48, 52, 56 million from 27, 28, and 29, which is a lot of money. So he's going to have to turn it around for this team. Bradley Beal, nope. Brandon Ingram, fun player this year. We'll see what team he's on, but he's not going to even come close to, I think, the 65 game threshold. I mean, he's got 22 games under his belt, 18 games under his belt. And he's out at least through January 12th. Yeah, or at least throughout Miss Sunday's game against the Celtics. He's not going to, I think, meet the game threshold. I like what Brandon Miller has shown this year with how bad that team is around him. And he's still incredibly young, but he's not making an All-NBA team. Cade Cunningham, I think, needs to be on one. I'll throw him into 3rd team for now. But honestly, when we break this down, like when I was initially planning this out, I was like, there's a chance Cade Cunningham makes my All-NBA 2nd team because the Pistons are 20 and 19. Shout out to the Detroit Pistons. This is the most exciting season they've had since 2019. I love it, man. I love it. And it's because of Cade Cunningham. Like Ivy goes down, it doesn't matter. Jalen Duren doesn't take that step that people thought he could take. It doesn't matter. Cade Cunningham is putting up not only all-star numbers this year, but all NBA numbers. 24, 6.5, 9.5, 45 from the field, 38 from 3, basically 80% from the free throw line or close to it. And it's just carrying this offense. And my one thing with Cade, because I believed in him, and I never, ever, I think, changed my mind for my number 1 pick in that redraft, which is looking like a good take. I just wanted to see Cade be able to close out games, because I think last year and at the beginning of this year, Cade would have such a good 3.5 quarters, and then when defenses are locked into that final 6 minutes of the game, I feel like Cade, the Pistons would always lose these close games, and Cade could not pull ahead, and I think we're seeing that this year from him. And I think JB Bickerstaff, shout out to him getting fired in Cleveland, watching Cleveland have this all-time year for them under Kenny Atkinson, who's doing a great job there. But Biggerstaff is also just doing an equally as good of job for a much inferior roster, and the Pistons are exceeding expectations. So I think Cade is going to make an All-NBA team. I'm going to just throw him on third team right now with Ant. What's funny is, like, I don't know who I would bump up to second team. Like, you can make an argument Cade is having just as good of a season as Anthony Edwards. Like, you take market size out, you take popularity out. It's not a hot take. Chet, cut. He's not going to meet the game threshold. Damian Lillard is having a good year. Much better of a year this year than last year, or much better of a first half than I think what he had last year. Even though Dame struggled in the second half, I guess more you could say. I think Dame could be in consideration. So I'm only going to probably have like 5 snubs. I don't know if I'm going to give it to 2 Bucks this year. Bucks are what, 20-17. The Knicks, like, it's funny. The Knicks ended up losing 3 in a row. OKC, Chicago, Orlando. Bad Chicago loss. Bad Orlando loss. Beat the Raptors. Get embarrassed at home by OKC. And then they end up dropping, 75 points, I think, at the end of that first half. Yeah, 75 points in the first half against Milwaukee. And they were able to get right there in a game in which Giannis and Dame played. So, I don't know. I'll put Dame in the snubs right now with Şengün, but I think that's going to get too much competitive of a tier where I don't think Dame is going to even make my snub list. Oh, man. This is going to be the toughest thing for my All-NBA team because I have to have at least one in there. That's like, all right, first guy is Darius Garland. I'm going to throw him in the snub because Garland, like the whole Cavs team as a whole, we can have that conversation throughout this. They have 4 deserving guys of an All-NBA team and of an All-Star team in Garland, Mitchell, Mobley, and Allen. But since they're all playing so well collectively and they're all kind of taking their chances to shine, like there was that game where Garland went off. Was it the Toronto game? Was that on the 9th? Yeah, okay. I was like, that felt long ago, but that was their last game on the 4th. Like, can I pull up? Because Donovan Mitchell, I'm pretty sure, did not play that game after the OKC game. And then, well, didn't the Cavs just lose to Indiana last night? Am I tripping? Yeah, right? That was last night. Okay. Yeah, they lost. I guess Garland, I didn't actually get a chance to catch this game, but Garland did play. I don't know why he didn't show up there. But either way, yeah, Garland like shows out when Donovan Mitchell does not play in this game, and I'm watching him like honestly create so well for his teammates. He drops 40 points on unreal efficiency, and it's just like guys taking their turns every night to ball out, which is just really cool to see. Garland's 50, 43, 91 splits. Like what? That's like modern day Steve Nash numbers, 21-7. I love what Garland's doing this year, and I think we can have the Cavs debate. I'm gonna throw Mitchell and Mobley in there. And I don't know. I think Garland may deserve it over Donovan Mitchell, which is crazy. But then you add in what Mobley's doing defensively and offensively. Like, I think Jared Allen has been perfect for this team as well. But, oh my God, man. Mobley's now shooting over 40% from 3. Holy crap, man. This is exactly what we wanted Mobley to develop with over time. Then I look at Jared Allen's numbers. And, like, they're all on pace to hit 65 games this year. I don't think Jared Allen's going to make it. I don't think so. Do I even have him? I don't even have him in this tier list, which is kind of disrespectful, but he would be in the cut. Or maybe I do, and I'm just missing him. Yeah, I don't see him. But either way, I think, oh man, I like kind of want to lean to Garland as my guy, but maybe like I've just always liked Garland as a player, and maybe Cavs like fans, you can let me know like Mitchell is your most deserving All-NBA guy. But we'll get into this. I don't know where I'm gonna have them, and we're gonna throw them all in snubs right now. Oh God, this is where it gets tough. Like De'Aaron Fox, like the Kings right now. Like, the Cavs are 33-5, but sorry, going back to the Kings. 2019 right now, same record as the Detroit Pistons, but they have a good net rating, which makes me also kind of believe, like, this team, they got to be, like, top 10 in net rating now, or close to it. Like, they're 9th. Yeah, they're 9th in net rating, and they're 9th in the Western Conference, which is, I think they've been a little unlucky this year. They're playing better than their record shows. And it's really them figuring out this fit. The whole Keon Ellis thing, they fire Mike Brown. I don't think lost since Devin Carter came back, or their record is incredibly good since he came back. And I think you're going back and forth between one guy. I think like the Kings are going to get one guy, and it's Sabonis or Fox. And Sabonis is knocking down 46% of his threes this year. He's leading the NBA in rebounds. I guess he snatched that from Cat. Another player we'll get to. I think that I could just bring up both Fox and Sabonis. Like Fox is averaging 27, 5, and 6. Sabonis is averaging, what is he averaging? 20, 14, and 6. Oh my God. I don't know. So I think like easy cuts DeRozan. I don't think DeRozan's going to be in this conversation. It's too good. I think DeRozan's having a better year than maybe what the non-Sacramento Kings fan base will give him credit for. Sabonis, I'm going to put in the snubs, and Fox, I'm going to put into the snubs. Just for now, these are kind of like my pool of guys, and then we're going to have to cut guys. So like I'm already like feeling to cut Şengün or Lillard because we're getting into such good guys that I don't know if they're going to make it. I have DeAndre Hunter here for the All-Star. He's not going to make it. Derek White, not going to make it. He's actually been kind of weird as of late. Not something that I think keep an eye on. I think he's still going to be a really good player for this team. And I think when you're watching the Celtics, some guys are going to have their nights, some aren't. White, probably not going to make the All-Star game, but having a really good year once again for Boston. Desmond Bane's not going to make it. I don't think Devin Booker is going to make it. I don't even think he's going to make my snub list. Now, he had a really good game against Utah. Fine against Charlotte. What do you have? He had, I think, 25 last night, or 34 or the Charlotte game. I guess it's not updated here, but solid game against Charlotte from what I was watching. Solid game for Mark Williams, man. He was a joy to watch there. Lamelo kind of got some threes at the end. But either way, Booker's numbers are so down to what they've been. I think Booker, I mean, I'm going to throw him in snub list because it's Devin Booker, but I don't even know if he's going to make my all snub team, which is going to be 5 guys at the end of it. Draymond obviously does a lot more than the stats show up, but he's not an All-NBA talent. Franz would be in consideration, but Franz is at how many games right now? He's at 25. He's going to be reevaluated probably soon. There's 41 game. No, Franz is not hitting the 65 game threshold. So yeah, like he's going to get cut. Paolo, I mean, dude, I'm like, it was the first game back against Milwaukee, and I'm like, you know what? This is going to be probably not a ton of, like, I was excited to watch the Magic, and I'm like, you know what? I'm probably not going to see that much of Paolo tonight. It's his first game back in a while. No, they played him 27 minutes, and he dropped 34 points and 7 rebounds in that game, and he's just showing why he would be an All-NBA first team or second team caliber player if the 6-game sample size was stretched out to 25 games. Definitely be an All-Star. I mean, he's getting a lot of votes. I wonder if he's going to be an All-Star with like 15-ish games played by the All-Star game. We'll see, but he's not hitting 65 games. He's going to be my cut tier. My first like all-NBA first team guy, Giannis Antetokounmpo. This one is fairly easy. I know they are 20-19 or 20-17, excuse me, but just like overall the season Giannis is having, and I don't think his like, or the Bucks struggles are too much on Giannis, who's putting up 31 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, 60% from the field. I know it's 18% from 3 and 59% from the free throw line. It's funny, too, because I'm going to talk about it. Giannis has been an elite mid-range shooter this year, but he still can't hit his free throws. It's just, now that's funny, because very close in what he's taking. But you look at his field goal percentage by distance so far this season, like three-pointers, he is shooting, three-pointers, he's shooting 18% on, from basically mid to long twos, 44%. Really good, man. Some of the best of his career. He's shooting 57% on 10 to 16 feet. So like short to mid-range shots this year. Giannis is kind of changing his game a little bit this year, and I think it's working. And I think he's realizing, you know what, I'm not going to be a good three-point shooter, but I can really become an elite mid-range shooter. And that's what he's been. And I still value his defensive impact a ton, and his presence, his gravity down there, and obviously what he does offensively as a screen setter, as a guy that can handle the rock. All NBA first team, I think no questions asked. I think if we're making an MVP ballot as well, he'd probably be my third guy. Like, thinking about it, like, you got the 2 guys in the West, and then I think it's Giannis number 3. Isaiah Hartenstein, that's a cut. I don't even know if he did the game threshold, but obviously not all NBA. I think worthy this year. Ja Morant, is Ja even going to hit the game threshold? What is he at right now? Ja's at 22 games. I mean, knowing just the season it's been a lot of on-off with him. He's like, his efficiency's been pretty down this year. And he's had his really good games. Like, his first game back was really good. Or was it that game? Now I'm tripping here. No, yeah, it was. Like, that Houston game was really good. First game back. Obviously, he dropped 27 points. I mean, the efficiency's a little bit off, but still able to create. I honestly don't even think I'm going to put him in the snub list. Like, that snub list is going to get too long. And I think there's one Grizzly that I think trumps Ja Morant this year. And that's Jaren Jackson Jr. I'm going to throw him in the snub. This is just like my pool of guys, and then we're going to break it down. But Jaren Jackson Jr., I think, oh my God, man, still on one of the best contracts in the league. He's going to get paid so much money from them. 23 points, 6 rebounds, 50% from the field, basically 35% from 3, and just still elite defense. I think should still be in consideration for an all-defensive team this year, and I like to value that a ton. 3 blocks seems like an outlier for him, and he's kind of, not regressed, but like back to like what it is in the high ones, but just an incredible two-way player. He's played every game this year for the Grizzlies, or they played 30, he's missed 2 games this year for the Grizzlies. So shout out to Jaren Jackson Jr. I'd like to get him on, but we'll see. Jalen Brunson, I think Jalen Brunson's going to make one, because I think he's having just as good of a year as Anthony Edwards and Cade Cunningham, but it's more so like, maybe he's the number 2 on the Knicks this year. He's been up and down, like he had that 55-point performance in overtime against the Wizards, and he's had his good games and his bad games this year. I think he's going through a little bit of a rough stretch where he was like bad against Orlando, bad against Toronto. OKC wasn't good either. And he had a good game against Chicago, but was really good. Against the Bucks, where he had, I wish I could see the game log right now, but he basically gets hurt, comes back. I think it was a shoulder injury, but Brunson had, what do you have? He had 44 points in 29 minutes. Like, that's just unreal. When Brunson is on, man, he really gets it going. I think he's at least third team. We'll see if I can get him to second team, but I don't want to be too biased. Jalen Green, he's not going to make it. As much as I love Jalen Johnson's game, he's not going to make it. Jalen Suggs is not going to make it. Jalen Williams, I'll throw on the snubs for now, but I don't think he's going to make it. Like, he's struggling to make the All-Star game. I don't know if he's going to make it. We'll see. I'd be fine if he does, but All-NBA team's going to be tough. I don't think Jamal Murray's going to make it. I don't think James Harden's going to make it. Jaylen Brown, I'm going to throw in that snub, and Jason Tatum, I think is probably going to be on All-NBA first team. I think he may get one of my last spots there. Tatum is averaging 28 points, 9 rebounds, 5.5 assists this year. Still solid efficiency. 3-point shot, slightly down from last year, but with the volumes up, I think you take that. Still a great defender, I think, that people get him credit for. They're 28 and 11, and I'm perfectly fine. Like, Tatum didn't really, is not like that MVP guy that I think kind of looked at the start of the year, maybe could have been, but I think is All-NBA first team worthy. Jeremy Grant here, no. Jimmy Butler here, no. Joel Embiid, I mean, we got to have this conversation. Joel Embiid is at, 13 games on the year. He's not hitting 65. The way he's played as well, I mean, he's been better over his last games from, like, that first, 9-game start he had. But I don't even know if, this Joel Embiid would make an All-NBA team. It'd be close, but he's not even going to hit the games threshold, so that's a cut. Julius Randle is going to be a cut as well. Karl-Anthony Towns, I think there are conversations for first team this year for what he's done as a rebounder, as just an overall, I think having the best offensive season of his career. It may be better than, that 30, we're basically what he did in 2020. He played 35 games in 2020, 36 games this year, and he's averaging basically better numbers across the board, 14 rebounds a game. He actually, I think I saw this from real social media. If we look at his totals on the season, Karl-Anthony Towns has, so did they lie with this? I don't know. But he has 500 rebounds, right? Or maybe this didn't pick up yesterday's game. Yeah. Okay. So, or Basketball Reference, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why is it taking forever for you guys to update this? But he's at 518 rebounds. Yeah, no, Real got this right. He had 18 rebounds on Sunday against the Bucks. 518. He had 515 rebounds last year in 26 more games. That is insane. Insane. I didn't know he was leading the NBA in personal fouls, but yeah, he's got 518 rebounds on the year through 36 games. He's averaging 25 points, 14 rebounds, 45% from three on about 5 attempts a night. Yeah, maybe you'd like the Knicks defense is taking a little bit of a hit this year compared to what it was last year. Like going from Mitch Robin, Hartenstein to Cat, the Knicks are 17th in defensive rating. They were 10th last year, but I think for what he's done offensively for the Knicks, I think there's first team conversations. I think it comes down between him and one other guy, but I think, will record matter? We'll see. I'm going to throw Cat in first team, but I think there's a chance I'm going to drop him to second team. KD, I'm going to throw KD in second team right now. I think if there is one Sun to make it, it's probably Kevin Durant. Yeah, definitely Kevin Durant over Booker. He's missed some time. He's at 27 games, so he really can't miss too much time to make it because the Suns, if I go to their standings right now, or just how many games they played, the Suns are at 38 games on the year. So they got what? They got basically 44 games left. KD can miss what? He can miss 4. He needs to play 39 more. Yeah, he can miss about 10 more games around that period. We'll see though. But I think the way Kevin Durant offensively this year and what they've looked with and without KD, I think KD, I'm fine with All-NBA second team, 27, 6, and 4, 52, 40, 84 splits. KD on second team. LaMelo, well, that's a funny conversation, but they're 8 and 28. Not because of LaMelo Ball, but I can't give somebody that's 8 and 28. There was a thing with Bradley Beal in the past when he was averaging so many points, and that team stunk. I know LaMelo's putting up 30 points, but the efficiency of the team record, I like to be somewhat consistent here. And I'd like to say what I said in the beginning of the video is true, that you need to be at least at or above 500. Unless you're putting up I don't know, one guy we'll get to, but at or above 500 or a playoff team, and the Hornets are neither. So he may make the all snub team. I'll just say he's not making my all NBA team. Marketing, no, that's a cut. Let me do some easy cuts now. Mikal Bridges, no. Norman Powell, good season, but no. OG, no. Paolo's a cut because he's not going to meet the games. I don't think Siakam's going to make an all NBA team, even though he's been good this year for Indiana. Paul George, no. Let's see. Any other easy cuts? Gobert, no. Scotty Barnes, fine season. I know he's dealt with injury, so I'm not going to put too much on Scotty, but they're 8-31. Same with the LaMelo thing. RJ, no. Zach LaVine, good season. I'll throw him in the snubs, but I'm going to eventually cut him. Luka, we can have the Luka talk right now. Luka would make it for sure, but he's at 22 games. He's getting reevaluated basically at the end of January. Oh, man. Like, he may not meet the minimum games. I don't think he's going to. So, I don't know if it's a cop-out, but I'm going to have Luka just not making it because he's not going to hit 65 games. I don't think any Sixer is going to make it, so I'm also going to cut Maxey. They're 15-22. Maxey has struggled as a number one this year with no Joel Embiid. He's put up good numbers, though, overall. Like, he's still been, like, the life of the Sixers team when, like, everyone's been hurt, but I don't think he's going to make an all-NBA team. Nikola Jokic, easy all-NBA first team. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, easy all-NBA first team. This MVP race is fun right now. Like, Nikola Jokic is averaging 31 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, 55, 47, 80 splits this year. Just unreal video game numbers. And shout out to what Russell Westbrook has done this year, because Russ has been kind of just having one of those best years in a long time since, like, his Wizards year. And he's 36 years old. And looks as athletic as ever as well. Shai's averaging 31, 5, and 6. Like, one of the best offensive guard seasons we've seen since, like, Kobe and MJ. 50 and, like, or Curry from 16. 52% from the field, 36% from 3, 89% from the line. No Chet Holmgren, and they have the second best record in the NBA at 32-6. It's incredible. Shai and Jokic are easy all-NBA first team guys. So, I think the one other guy, also, sorry, Haliburton. I know Haliburton's been playing good in his last couple of games, but I don't think he's going to make an all-NBA team. Tyler Hero, good season, but not all-NBA worthy. Trey, I'll throw in the snubs team, and we can break that down. Look at all these guys if you guys are watching on YouTube. Oh my God, that I got to break down there. Steph, I don't know if Steph's having an all-NBA season. We'll get to him, but the Warriors are around 500 right now. We'll break it down. Like, do you value Steph's season or, like, De'Aaron Fox's season? We got to take, like, name value, market size out of it. I think LeBron, I don't know. I'll throw him in third team. I think I'm going to get LeBron on a team. He's 40 years old, but I know the defense is not good, but he's 24, 7, and 9, 50, 38, 77 splits for a 40-year-old. And the Lakers are the 6th seed. Like, I may get LeBron on third team. But the last guy, I think there's 6 guys for all-NBA first team. I think locks are probably Shai, Jokic, and Giannis. I think you can have a conversation for the last 3 guys I have here. Tatum, Towns, and Wemby. Wemby and the Spurs are 18-19. I took all the Spurs unders this year. I did not think they were going to hit 35 games. But what Wemby does on both ends of the floor, it's kind of equivalent to Giannis. Like, he's averaging 25 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 48% from the field, 35 from 3, 87 from the line. I know he takes a ton of threes, and that could get annoying, but he's shooting 35% from 3 on 9 attempts a game. He's averaging 4 blocks. He averaged 3.5 last year, led the NBA. He's now averaging 4 this year, 1 steals. He's going to win Deep Boy. I don't know what the odds are right now, but it's probably it's basically a lock, like, as long as he finishes the year. I think just what the defensive impact is, I'm going to keep Wemby on first team. So I guess it would come down between Tatum or, like, I know he's 18-19. I'm going to have him on first team, but just what he does on both ends. And they're respectable this year. If the Spurs were 10-28, like the Jazz, or 8-32, like the Pelicans, I'd probably have Wemby that could dock him. But yeah, I'm going to keep him on first team. So I'm going to dock Cat to second team because I think Tatum's probably having a slightly better of a year than Cat. So we're going to have Anthony Davis, Karl-Anthony Towns, Kevin Durant on second team. I don't think there's anybody that I am forgetting that I would have liked to put here. I guess Kyrie. You know what? Yeah, where's Kyrie at? Let me get Kyrie in here. All right, yeah. So I think I'm good. And Kyrie, I think I want to get Kyrie on an all-NBA team. Like, he's at 30 games right now. He's dealing with a little bit of injuries right now. Illness, bulging disc. I think he's going to hit the 65 games. What Kyrie's doing, man, like, unreal number 2 season. I love watching the Mavericks right now without Luka and Kyrie. Like, I'm just seeing, like, Najee Marshall ball out, Quentin Grimes, Jaden Hardy, PJ Washington. They're fun. They're really fun to watch. I think I'm going to get Kyrie on an all-NBA team. So we'll throw him in snubs. All right, so let's break this down. I think I'm good here. I'll double check this at the end. But basically, I have my all-NBA first team figured out. I know we got here 30 minutes later, but yeah, we have Shai, Jokic, Giannis, Tatum, and Wemby. I think Cat or AD could have conversations to get on first team as well. So right now, my second team is AD, Cat, and Durant. I think I got to get Cavs in here. I do. For what the year they're having, I think I got to get at least 1 Cav, maybe 2. I want to give Garland some love. Is it weird to snub Mitchell because he's the best guy? I think from what we've seen this year, Oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna have Steph. I don't think I'm gonna have Steph on an All NBA team. I think he's like, I think J Dub is gonna get snubbed as well. Who's having a good number 2 year, but the shooting season has been weird for J Dub. But he's a good two-way player, and he's still having a very good year. And I'm fine with him being an All-Star. Is he gonna make my all snub list though? Oh man, so I don't think Devin Booker is gonna make it. I don't think, I'm not even going to have LaMelo on the all snub list just because of team record. Zach LaVine's been great over his last couple of games, and I hope he gets traded because I want to see him on a playoff team, but I don't think he's going to be my all snub list. I don't know if I'm going to have a Hawk here, and I don't want to sound like a Hawk hater, but Trae Young's like efficiency, I mean, it's getting better as of late. We'll see. I mean, the Hawks have been respectable this year for sure, 19 and 19. And Jalen Johnson's been having a good year. Obviously, you're getting defense out of Reese Shea and most notably Dyson Daniels. I wonder if they're going to make a move. He's leading the league in assists. All right. I'm going to have Trae here for sure, I think. I kind of want to get Kyrie on a team. I do if I'm not going to have Luka because of the games played. Oh, this is tough. I don't think I'm going to have J-Dub. I'm going to cut J-Dub. I think I'm going to cut Şengün because I think the Rockets collectively as a team has been so good this year, but I don't know if Şengün is having a top 15 season. I don't know if I can say Şengün's been better than Mobley or Sabonis this year individually. I think I'm going to cut Dame. I think so, because I think I'm going to value what Trae is doing carrying that offense over Dame, and they're not very far behind, and Dame gets the luxury of playing with Giannis. I feel weird cutting Steph, but I feel like I'm going to cut Steph. All right, who do I want to promote to second team? Let's figure this out. I think I kind of want to promote Cade to second team, but I think I'm going to promote Garland to second team for pretty much being like the Steve Nash of this Cavs offense. I don't know if that's a hot take having Garland on second team, but you're going to put up 50, 43, 91 splits on pretty noticeable volume. 15 field goal attempts a night, 7 threes. That puts his true shooting at, what's his true shooting at? It is at 63% this year on that volume is incredible for a guard at 6'1". Yeah, I'm going to have Garland on second team. I think just the way he's impacting that team this year deserves it. And then the last spot, I kind of want to give it to Cade Cunningham. I do. Oh, man. So basically, do I get LeBron? I think I'm going to have LeBron on a team. I think third team. I think Brunson and Cade are good. I don't know if Kyrie's been a top 10 player this year. I think Garland has been borderline a top 10 player this year. Oh my God, man. This is incredibly tough. Because, like, I don't think I'm going to have Steph on my all-snub team. I'm sorry. But I don't know if Steph's having a top 20 season this year. He's getting older, man. He is. And the Warriors haven't been great around him. I may get Sabonis on All NBA third team, and I honestly may bump Cade. I think Cade is having arguably a top 10 season in the league this year. For what he's doing carrying this Detroit team that isn't good, like, I think overall, like on paper, I like what Malik Beasley's doing for them. Tim Hardaway Jr. at times, Asor Thompson, Ron Holland, the athleticism they bring. But Cade is kind of carrying this team, especially with no Jaden Ivey. Like, not relying on Tobias Harris to anchor a number 2 option on this team. But I think Detroit, man, they're 8-2 in their last 10. I want to get Cade on second team. Cade and Garland. Oh God. Oh man. I want to get another Cav here though. Because we have 2 Lakers. Like, do I value what Evan Mobley or Donovan Mitchell are doing this year over LeBron? I think I should. All right. I'm going to put Donovan Mitchell on third team. This is what's speaking to me. But then who do I cut? I think I cut Fox. Or maybe I cut Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's been good this year. He just won Finals MVP. Still a good two-way player. But if I think I'm going to dock Booker with the efficiency as a number 2, I'm going to dock Jaylen Brown as well. Man, cutting Dame was tough. Can I do like a snub of the snub? Yeah, I'm going to do snubs of snubs. And then that's going to be, like, I think I can't put these guys in the cuts here. Like, I think Steph, Jaylen Brown, Dame, I'm going to throw in snubs of snub. And then I will also throw in Şengün, and we could throw J-Dub in there. J-Dub or Levine, I don't know. We could just throw those 4 in there. So I got my first team is Shea, Jokic, Giannis, Tatum, Wemby. My second team is AD, Towns, Durant, Garland, and Cade. And my third team is Brunson and Kyrie, Sabonis. You know what? For what he does defensively, I'm going to actually snub the hell out of Donovan Mitchell, and I'm putting Evan Mobley on All-NBA third team. I value it. I value your two-way play. And I think for offensively, I just like what Garland is doing this year a little bit more than Mitchell. And I'm fine with Mitchell taking, not a back seat, but just kind of not having to be somebody that averages 28 points throughout the regular season, and he could turn it up a notch in the playoffs. My all snub team, I got Trae Young for what he's doing, like leading the NBA in assists, carrying that Hawks offense this year, because Jalen Johnson's been good, but like, you're not getting too much out of Reece Shea offensively this year. Like, you're getting a little bit, but asking him, I think, to be anything more than he is right now is a lot from the 19-year-old. Dyson Daniels, I think, has been very good offensively this year for them, but I think you're getting a lot of that production because of Trae Young's playmaking ability. I want to put a Rocket in there, and I have Damian Lillard on this, or yeah, so I got Şengün, Dame, Jaylen Brown, and Curry on my snubs of snub teams. I don't know who would be like the last guy there. Man, this is tough. I like LaVine season. Maybe I'll put Booker. I'll leave it at 4, but I want to get away. Like, do you value Evan Mobley season more, or do you value Jaren Jackson Jr. season more? Not having a Grizzly there, it hurts as well, but I want to have a Maverick. I want to have Kyrie there. I mean, I guess, do you value Triple J, or do you value Sabonis? Or do you, okay, so I think it comes down between Sabonis, Mobley, and Jaren Jackson Jr. That's the tough trio to pick from. You're looking at records. Like, Sabonis has been, I think, maybe the most important King this year on the 9th seeded Kings. Mobley's been the 2nd or 3rd most important player on the 33-5 Cavs. And Jaren Jackson Jr. has been, I think, the most important player on the 25-14 Grizzlies. But I just feel, maybe I dock Sabonis. Maybe I get Jaren Jackson Jr. there instead of Sabonis. All right, I'm leaving it at this. I could be here for another hour just going back and forth. So, first team, locking it in. Shea, Jokic, Giannis, Tatum, Wemby. All-NBA second team, AD, Towns, KD, Garland, and Cade Cunningham. Third team, I have Brunson, Ant, Kyrie, Evan Mobley, and Jaren Jackson Jr. Luka would be there somewhere if he would hit 65 games. And then my all snub team, so my 4th team, Trae, LeBron, Mitchell, Sabonis, and Fox. And then I'm actually going to sub out Fox onto the all snub team. Sorry. And then I'm going to put Curry, I think, yeah, a little bit more. So Curry joins the all snub team. And then my snub's a snub. Like, you have your first 4 in, last 4 out, and your March Madness is like the last 4 out. And then you have Fox, Jaylen Brown, Dame, Şengün, and then you can put somebody here, either LaVine, Booker, J-Dub, or LaMelo. I could be here all day, like I said. I'm going to just double check, make sure I didn't miss anybody, just because of this tier list. Like, I didn't see, notice if I had anybody missing. I don't think I did. Yeah, I'm pretty much good there. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. That was tough, man. I just kind of debated with myself for the last 40 minutes. I hope you guys did enjoy. Please let me know your All-NBA teams in the comments on YouTube. Drop a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.